I want to give you an example of building a pool of shared understanding. And let me provide a little bit of context. We were moving our family from Fort Collins, Colorado to Parker, a town southeast of Denver, and wanted to build a house, so spent a lot of time, my wife and I, looking for property all over the county. We found a really nice piece of property on a little hill. In fact, I walked up the hill and I could see the entire front range of Colorado, and including a great view of Pikes Peak. So I was excited and we decided to make an offer. We did so and our offer was accepted. We put down, I don't know, a fair amount of money, $1,500 or $2,000, and started making plans to build. But then the next time we visited, I noticed that the sign was in a different location, and I thought, oh, wow, that's strange. And then it hit me. Is this 2 pieces of property and not 1? Well, I called the realtor and was really disappointed. It was 2 properties. And not only was our property half the size that we thought, but it was on the downhill side, and so we didn't have quite as good a view. Well, what I'm doing for you is I'm recreating the conversation that went on between Judy and I. And this is demonstrating how we're using both inquiry and also disclosure back and forth and back and forth. So I began. And by the way, it's usually good to begin with seeking first to understand. Let your partner talk. So I said to Judy, how are you feeling right now about what we've learned? And she said, disappointed. I thought we'd put our money down on the whole property, so this is a bit of a shock. Yeah, for me too. I'm feeling really upset. We both remember that the sign was up higher and in the middle of the hill. The fact that the sign has been moved makes me think it was intentional, and I feel like we've been conned. I don't want to give up the view. Well, so Judy said, you think there was some deceit involved and it makes it really hard to accept. Notice that good listening statement. Roger, yes, and deceit or not, I don't want to give up the view. But what do you think? Judy, well, it is disappointing and I know you love your view. However, we've looked at a lot of different properties for many months and I still think this is the best one we've seen. So I asked a clarifying question. Is that true even though it's not as big as we thought? She said, yes. Some of that has to be on us. We might have been naive and didn't check it out. And I said, well, it's true we didn't check it out because it wasn't even an issue. I didn't even think about it. Judy, I didn't either. Roger, but what I'm hearing you say is that you think we should go ahead because you don't think we can find anything that we like more. Judy, that's right. Plus, we already put money into an escrow, which we'll lose if we back out now. Roger, well, that's true, unless we tell our realtor that we feel like we've been deceived and want out of the contract. Judy, I wonder how hard it would be to get out of the contract. Roger, well, I really don't know. It might end up being a big legal battle, and I don't think I'm up for that. Judy, another reason to go ahead is that we hoped to build before school starts next year, so we wouldn't have to move the kids in the middle of the year. Roger, yeah, that's true. It sure would be nice to move ahead now. So it seems like you're ready to move ahead. You think that this is still the best property available, and you don't want to spend more time looking. You don't want to lose our escrow, and you feel an urgency so that our kids can start their new school. Is that right? Judy said, yeah, that about sums it up for me, but what about you? We both have to feel good about this. So, Roger, well, you make good points. We have looked at a lot of property, and it's not that I don't like this one. I really like the neighborhood, the location, and it's maybe not very likely that we'll find something else, at least in this area. But I still feel ripped off, and I need to get over that. I need a few days. I need to call our realtor and share this concern. I want to know what he has to say, and I really want to register my complaint about the placement of the sign. So I'm not quite ready to make a decision. Give me a few days. Judy, okay, but we do have to act pretty soon. Roger, I know. Well, it would be nice if we could talk about this face to face, but hopefully you can see us going back and forth, using both inquiry and disclosure to build a pool of shared understanding. We're doing our best to both express ourselves as well as make it safe for our partner to do the same. Neither of us is trying to manipulate the other to his or her will. We're on the same team, trying to come up with the best decision for us. We recognize we both have to feel good about a final decision. And it can be so tempting when going through this process to start arguing for your point of view, building your case, trying to convince your partner that you're right and they're wrong. But that only creates animosity in the long run. We might even make a decision, but if one of us feels that he or she has lost, damage has been done, they'll be living in a house that, they have some resentment about. So now we're going to move on to the last step in removing conflict in the next video, our search for solutions. See you there.